没有现金。
不好。
谢谢你。我到加拿大去了，你
我晓得你。哎，哪里？
哦，别克来了。简单。
He was on there.
Thank you. Yes, this is very important topic. All these years, Ding TV, Silicon Valley Community Media has committed ourselves in telling Asian American stories, especially during the COVID. We know it's really important to share our stories and to understand each other, to appreciate difference, because we, Chinese Americans, Asian Americans, we are the contributors. We're not the takers, we are the givers, we are the contributors. But we have to tell our story. So actually I know her for over 10 years, a very hardworking lady, and also very determined, sometimes stubborn, but very talented.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Today, I'm going to just show you half of my productions, even though there are 3 films, but they are productions in progress. The first one is half produced. I'm going to show you the 30-minute version, English version of One My Work. That's about Monterey Bay history. That's a history I didn't know 3 years ago, until Jerry told me about that. However, I was distracted back then. I was interested in the railroad history. I didn't follow up with Jerry, but that's the thing I regret to death. Because one day, suddenly, I found out Jerry passed away. That's why I feel I owe her such a film.
Tell us about some of the interesting things and some of the difficult things that you encountered when trying to research to make this movie.
I think the most interesting thing is that I met Jerry 3 years ago, and she mentions the Chinese fishing village history to me. And even though I was not very realized how important this history was, but I just kind of, wait, this is on my list to do, and I will cover this story later. But most challenging thing is that time flies. And I didn't have time to catch up the story, and Jerry passed away. So that's why I feel so emotional every time when I think about this. I think I owe her such a film.
This coming Thursday will be 2 years since Jerry passed away. So September is very difficult for me. But what's made it a little bit more bearable is that I will be a grandfather for the first time in September. And it's going to be a baby girl. Her name is going to be Catherine. And I can hardly wait to tell her about her grandmother. She had so much impact on the community in Monterey. She was an educator. We were married for 42 years.
First question will be for An Li. So An Li, actually you wrote the book, Die Young and Forgotten in the States. Your second uncle who passed away at the age of 25 with a group of the young Air Force being trained in the United States. So what made you started this research and writing this book?
Since I was young, and I know I have an uncle, and joined the Air Force, died in the United States. But my parents never told us why he's there and how he died. So until we went abroad and started to study, and then my other uncle in our family in China just asked us to start searching for the second uncle, relatives in Taiwan, and found my uncle buried in El Paso, Texas. So after that, and many of our family members, my cousin, my brother, and all went there. Until like 2008, I was there and found there are so many Chinese Air Force buried in Texas. In their headstone, there are no flowers, so lonely, for more than 78 years. So I swear in front of my uncle's headstone, I just say, I need to bring all your comrades back home. So after that, and we just start the search.
Thank you for sharing this touching story, and thank you for this effort. So Assemblymember Ken Sin-Chu, he's been very active in our community, but very few people know that his father is also one of the cadets, belongs to the class 15 as a Chinese Air Force, get trained in the United States. Not only that, your mother's uncle is Sun Liren Jiangjun, Sun Liren. So we all know that very famous commander leading the troop against the Japanese during the World War II. So that's the story never told, and please share with us something about that.
First of all, thank you very much for coming. It's really an honor to share the stage with three of my very admirable ladies. And Yan, I just learned that he actually was referred to by General Stilwell's grandson when she was doing the research of the book. And John Easterbrook mentioned that, hey, there's a state assembly member, and his father was one of the Flying Tigers. So that's how we met. And I think at that time, we're trying to get this family member to come to the United States, and they have some visa issue, right? And then we'll have to write a letter to allow those family members to come to the United States. And I also learned the second uncle, Li Jiahe, was in the same class of my father. They actually came to the United States on the same boat. So a lot of those journeys that my father never shared with me, I have to learn it from her book.
I know that as a researcher for the Chinese history, you have probably got so many materials, so many stories, and so many people talking to you, but you choose this story from Anli's book. So what touched you most of the stories from this book?
Well, when I read the book by Anjie, I was touched by the stories of those young people. Think about that. We all have our 20s, right? For all my 58 uncles, they died very young. The oldest of them might be just in early of the 30s. The youngest one maybe just in their 20s, like 21, 22. Imagine how we looked like when we were 20s. How many dreams we had when we were 20s, right? So, but for them, they just gave up their lives to defend the country, defend the freedom. So I think I just have a mission to finish this film, especially when I stand in front of the headstones with my production team. Each of us have a short message telling our uncles. We will get this done.